Hello, my Fashion the Mind, Fashion the Figure family. It is the Triple C CEO, Jennifer C. Cook, the one that consistently builds class, confidence, and courage. Well, I am back. I have returned from a mini vacation. My son and I had the opportunity just to get away. He wrapped up the school term and we just needed a breather. You know, sometimes you need to just get out of your immediate circumference and go out and experience something new, try something different, go somewhere that you've never been. So we are back. I am rested, ready to rock and roll. I am excited about this new direction. I'm not sure how many of you follow me on my social media platforms, but a few weeks ago, I announced that I had passed my life coach certification. And I am so excited because, again, this just adds to the level of depth and intelligentsia that I possess. But with that being said, as a life coach, I like to focus primarily on 3 areas of one's life. Well, I have made a conscious effort, and I've shared this with a few. My goal from my life coaching ventures is to help people elevate spiritually. And let me explain why. We are spiritual beings having an earthly experience. And it is so important that our spiritual as well as our natural are in alignment with one another. I know for me personally, when I am not where I should be spiritually, there's more doubt, more fear, more trepidation, more anxiety. When my spiritual life is imbalanced, there is a level of peace, even when I don't understand what is happening. There is a level of joy and contentment when there's chaos and mayhem. And so I want to help those who enlist my life coaching services to understand we are going to deep dive and figure out how we can help you fine tune, plug in, or rebirth your spiritual lifestyle, okay? So with that being said, I want to share with you today a passage in the Bible where it just speaks volumes. And we live in a society now where we're all about selfies and we want to post our different life experiences no matter where we are in the country or even outside of the country, because I have some girlfriends that are traveling abroad. And so they too are sharing those intimate moments. But I want us to be aware that all of those things are great. But let me tell you what's even greater. What's going on inside of here. Whatever is happening inside of us, it comes out in our lifestyle. It comes out in our conversation. It comes out in our presentation. And so I know that as the class confidence and courage guru, I want you to understand that the outer man is important, but what's more significant, what's more important, what's long lasting is what goes on in here. So let me read for you 1 Peter chapter 3, verses 3 and 4. Whose adorning, let it not be that of outward adorning, of plaiting the hair and of wearing of gold, or of putting on of apparel. But let it be the hidden man of the heart, and that which is not corruptible, even the ornament of a meek and quiet spirit, which is in the sight of God of great price. So I want to talk to us today about what is going on the inside, okay? And you hear me talk about this a lot, but from a spiritual perspective, what is going on the inside? It doesn't matter to me what faith you practice. Now, I'm proud to say that I'm a Christian, but I know everybody doesn't practice Christian ways, okay? But the most important thing is, how is your faith being exercised and demonstrated in your life? How are you responding to situations? How are you going about everyday life representing your faith in the most positive way? And so for a lot of us, we focus on the external. We focus on weight loss. We focus on hair changes. We focus on makeup. We focus on the latest fashion or the newest car or, all of these gadgets and gizmos. But how many of us are equally as invested in sowing into our spiritual being so that we can be the best reflection on the outside in our natural being? So I share this story with everyone. I am a young lady who, grew up in church. And can I be candid with you all? I did not begin to have a relationship with God until I got older and life started happening. And when life started happening to me, it propelled me to drop down to my knees and seek the Almighty for help. Now, I don't want you to wait until life starts to happen and then you just feel like there's no other option. But what I want you to do is start to sow into yourself now more in a spiritual sense so that as you are hanging out with your friends, as you are dating if you're not married, or if you are married, how are you going to treat people? How are you going to speak to people? How are you going to look at people? Because when you start to do the spiritual inner work, I guarantee you, and take it from me, it makes a significant difference. Hear me and hear me well. Above all else, I want you to prosper in your soul so that you can prosper in all other areas of your life and that you stay in alignment with the Creator. So, again, we live in a society where we are image driven. Let's just be honest. You are judged by your imagery before anything else. But once people get past the imagery, what is it that they're seeing? Because you're quiet and gentle doesn't make you weak, it makes you meek. Because you don't respond so quickly to what's going on, but you pause before you speak, that shows a level of maturity. That shows a level of grace. That shows wisdom. Because see, a person who lacks wisdom, they are impulsive and respond to every little whim. But a person who is growing in their faith and they're maturing in life, they realize not everything warrants a response at the time something has happened. Sometimes you got to sit back, you have to adjust, you have to assess, and you have to think about, number one, do I even need to respond? And number two, if I do, how will I respond? So it is important that we focus on the inner man. We focus on our heart. Do we have forgiveness in our hearts? Are we still stuck on that broken relationship and things that did not go right? Are we still holding on to anger when someone offended us? Are we still living in the past and not living in our present so that we can embrace our future? Understand what the spiritual eye will do for you. It will awaken you. It will open you up and allow you to see things from a different perspective. Do you know that when an eagle flies, when a storm is coming, an eagle can rise above the storm? And that's what I want us to have, is that eagle eye vision for our spiritual welfare. Because when it is all said and done, when you die, you cannot take these natural things with you. They will either be given to loved ones, they'll be sold off, or they will be totally forgotten. But what you do spiritually will leave a lasting impact because it will come out in how you govern yourself. Are we governing ourselves accordingly? Are we just living viva loca so we can say that we're having a good time? Understand this. God wants you to have a good time. He doesn't mind you having a good time. But some of us need to use filters. Some of us need to rethink what a good time is. Some of us need to pay very careful attention who's in our environment when we're having a good time. I used to tell people, folks do not have to be privy to every aspect of your life. And I'll say that again. Folks, especially those that are not your deepest and dearest of friends, do not need to be privy to every aspect of your life. Some things need to be quietly contained. And this is why when you have that meek, quiet, humble, gentle spirit, you realize my life doesn't necessarily have to be an open book, but my life can be a testimony so that people can learn from different aspects of me and how I have developed. One of the greatest development experiences I have had, the Triple C CEO, is being a mother. That makes me ever aware and conscientious of how I go about my daily living. Why? Because my son is watching. And it is important, ladies and gentlemen, and primarily this message is to my ladies. Let's not be hyper-focused on what we look like on the outside. Yes, health, nutrition, and looking great is good, but what's even better is what you are sowing into yourself from a spiritual perspective. Your spiritual barometer will help navigate your natural decisions. Your spiritual barometer will help you realize and understand whose you are, what direction you're heading, and who's joining you on the journey. So let's be mindful not to be so focused on what's on the outside, because those things are temporal. Those things can be corrupted. Those things can sometimes be bought and sold. Because as you can all see right about now, there's a lot of conversation going on about the surgeries that women are doing to alter their bodies. And listen, everyone is free to do what they want to do. Can I be honest? I've thought about some things, but I've not gone through with it. And I dare not knock anyone who does. But because a lot of us are so focused on what the outside looks like, we haven't even started to deep dive into the inside. And as your spiritual coach, I want to admonish you. I want to encourage you. I want to exhort you on this day. Let's figure out a game plan to help you grow spiritually. One of the ways in which I grew spiritually, I spent more time in prayer and meditation. Another way that I grew spiritually, I had to say no to some things and some people. Another way I grew spiritually, I had to spend time alone fasting. Okay? Fasting have both natural and spiritual implications. And I'm going to tell you something. When you take that time, it makes a difference. It puts a glow on your face. It puts joy in your heart. And it makes you available to be used by God. Because you now realize that I am not living just for myself, but I am living for those that are attached to me that will come in and out of my life throughout this journey. So what's going on the inside? Are we going to put more effort into being wise women, humble women, spiritually minded women, women seeking God, women who have purpose and passion to uplift and build others, build our communities, build our homes? Or are we going to continue working on the outer man while the inner man continues to die of thirst? I'll close on this note. If you hunger and thirst for righteousness, you will be filled. He is the bread of life. He is that water where you will never thirst again. And when you seek the Lord while he may be found, call upon him while he is near. Watch what he does in your life. He takes you to places you've never dreamt or imagined. He will allow you to come in contact with people that you never thought you would be able to capture their attention. And once you understand that it's not just about the outside, but it's more about the inside, I guarantee you, you will not be disappointed. And yes, take it from me, it is a hard road. It is hard to submit and surrender. But when you yield your ways to the Lord, He will make everything be at peace with you. Because why? You have now made an elective decision that what goes on in here outweighs what goes on out here. So everyone have a great day. Thank you for stopping by. Please tag, like, or share this video. I hope it gives you some food for thought. And just know that the Triple C CEO is here to push you to that next place spiritually so you can be all that God created and called you to be. Take care and know that I love you.